25-26 Emporia State basketball, with both teams getting their season started last week in St. Joseph. Plenty to discuss on the show, so we'll be joined by Coach Higgins. We'll have MJ Baker making her Hornet Talk debut, and head coach Tom Billeter in his second year for Emporia State men's basketball. But we are, of course, joined first and last today. We'll have the first segment and the last segment, head football coach of the Emporia State Hornets and the winningest head coach in Emporia State football history, Garin Higgins. Man, Coach, it always seems like this year just gets away from us.
Trying to get him to clap. Yeah, all right, let's go.
Well, it just feels like this year just gets away from us every year. It feels like, we just started at, fall football practice. It was August just a blink ago, and now here we are at the end of the season. Gosh, it goes fast every year.
It goes by really fast. This year probably, to be quite honest with you, probably went about as fast of a season as I've ever been associated with.
Yeah, and you mentioned that you really enjoyed coaching this team. We're going to get into all that, but with the defensive struggle, we've still got some Hornet specials here for you. There were a ton of great defensive plays for the Emporia State team. Today's specials brought to you by 627 Event Space, your Hornet game day headquarters. 627 Commercial, downtown Emporia. On special every Monday, $5 for a chicken mac and cheese bowl with sides available of the fries, ribbon fries, or home fries. Get it right here at 627 Event Space. Well, welcome those of you listening live at kvoe.com/listen. We're also streaming on the ESU Athletics YouTube channel. We're going to start with a bevy of defensive stops, and we'll start with Clem McCullough, as the Hornet defense kept ESU in the game early against Fort Hays State on Senior Day. Play action, zone read. Here goes Heavner. Heavner gets outside, and there and contain is Clem McCullough. The tackle for loss back at the 20-yard line. You just give a quick word about the real, I thought, Herculean effort by your defense to go down into halftime, down just 2 scores. I mean, your defensive guys just battled the entire 60 minutes on Saturday.
Yeah, they kept us in the game. Even going down 10-0 at halftime, we still felt good where we were at. Now, again, I felt like we needed to take advantage. The thing about it is, us missing the field goal and then having the interception inside the 12, I think it was. Those are 2 big turning points, and we just weren't ever really weren't good enough to recover from that. But defensively, definitely kept us in the game all afternoon.
Yeah, and one of the guys keeping you in there, of course, was Landon Boss. He could not be contained as usual. Here comes Carlos Strong. Again, Heavner's able to step up and get away. This time, he will not get away from Landon Boss. Boss will sack it back at the 32-yard line. Could sense a little frustration because Heavner's just not that fast, but he's just really crafty back there, and he was able to get away. But I think Boss ended up getting like 7 quarterback hurries, which is ridiculous, but still ended up with 14 tackles, and I think he had 2 sacks to wrap up 10 for the year, 100 total tackles, now a 3-time MIAA Defensive Player of the Week, and I mean he's got to be a first-team All-Conference.
Hey, no question.
He just has to be.
Or the MIAA coaches, I don't know if they know what they're talking about.
Sure.
If he's not, that would be a travesty.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think he might be the Defensive Player of the Year, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing with that is and I would love for him to be, and maybe he's going to be, but you do have Northwest Missouri, usually the team that won the league, them and Pitt.
Sure.
If they got somebody up there. I know Pitt has a really good safety.
And Northwest got great defensive linemen. Yeah,
Clayton Powers, 91's a really good player. But Landon, it definitely needs to be in that conversation.
Absolutely. And he didn't do it on his own, though. He had some help from his fellow linebacker, Gabe Booker. There's 3rd down and 8. Heavner stepping up in the pocket, spins it near side. Almost intercepted by Gabe Booker. They were looking for the backup tight end right there. And there were a couple of plays defensively. We're going to play another one right here. This was Clem McCullough. Not Clem McCullough. He had a fantastic game. He almost had a takeaway here for your team. That was an awkward move by a wide receiver. He started to go, then stopped. The ball is out. It's a loose ball. The ball knocked away from the running back. It was Keyshawn Dooley who lost it. Though Tigers come up with it. Yeah. And you can hear the disdain in my voice. It just felt like you guys needed one of those bounces to go your way, and you got a couple of bounces, but you couldn't quite get the interception. You couldn't quite get that fumble recovery.
No, we couldn't. And I just felt like that it was almost like we were going uphill on an icy road. We just kept sliding back down. We just never – there was a lot of things that they just didn't go right for us.
They did not.
And, it's and again, like I said, it makes it very difficult. And they had a really good defense, and we knew that coming in. And again, this is a team that, they were 5-5, but they were picked, by a lot of people. Well, in the polls, they were picked second, but I know a lot of people, they got some first place votes too as well. So we knew they were a good football team, and we just too many mistakes that we made, too hard to overcome.
I may have been one of the guys that picked them, number one. I don't remember. They were picked up there for sure. Still, even though you're trying to get up that icy driveway, your third-string quarterback comes in and engineers a late drive to give you a chance. Roper goes in motion. Dennis wants to wait. It's one-on-one to the near side. Oweas leaps, makes the catch, flag down, touchdown Emporia State! And Oweas makes the catch in the back left corner of the end zone. And for the first time today, the Hornets are on the play. It's a pass interference on Fort Hays State. Finally, it's a score. Emporia State's into the end zone. Touchdown Emporia State.
Right.
So, man, can you just talk about Mason Dennis right there, giving your team a shot right there? I mean, obviously you got to get onside kick and all kinds of things, but, for him, you've said resilient bunch all year in the offense. When you had to have a drive, they were still battling.
Yeah, and I thought Mason did a really good job of stepping in. And, I always talk to him about every time he'd walk out of those quarterback meetings, or I'd see him in the locker room and tell him, you're one play away, and you got to make sure you prepare yourself the right way. And he came in there and did a really good job for us, was able to execute the offense. Unfortunately, we just weren't able to generate enough plays. We got it going there late, but again, just didn't have enough time on the clock. And, it's like you said, it was just one of those days. I've been doing this long enough, and even if things would have went right for us, it still would have been a difficult game for us to win. But the mistakes that we made with the turnovers and not valuing the football, that is one of the main things that really cost us.
We will take a time out here. We're continuing with our traditional football-basketball combination show. We are wrapping up the 2025 football season, getting started. Our first basketball interviews on Hornet Talk are coming up here, and a little bit more with Coach Higgins here in just a moment. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're yours.
Fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today. 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th, here in Emporia.
Mix 104.9.
Just a reminder, Lady Hornet Volleyball is heading up to St. Joe. They are in the MIAA tournament, still number 24 in the country. Get the full schedule online, ESUHornets.com. Back here with Coach Higgins, our traditional football-basketball combination show. We'll be joined by the two basketball coaches. Wrap things up with Coach Higgins here in just a little bit. Want to start with this, and you maybe should have led with this, but got some text back from Aaron, and I know he was in touch with your guys. But Kingsley Bennett took a pretty vicious hit, and looks like all the readings and everything that they wanted to came back the way they wanted it to. Very, very good. Have you been able to catch up with him, and how's he doing this week to start things out?
Yes, I talked to both Kingsley and his mother Saturday after the game. They actually discharged him, I want to say probably about 5:30 p.m.
Okay, that's awesome.
I called him, I want to say it's about 6:30, talked to his mother, talked to Kingsley, and he sounded really good on the phone. And then I did tell him, I said, you probably won't remember this conversation. And then I saw Kingsley today. I had a meeting with the seniors, and he was there, of course, had his sunglasses on.
Sure.
And I asked him, I said, hey, do you remember talking to me Saturday night? And he said, Coach, you called me? You talked to me?
Sure.
So he is doing better. And
good.
So glad that, everything was all the tests and all that stuff came back.
Yeah.
He was in good shape.
Obviously, rotten way to end your senior day. I also wanted to ask about Jamison Sarver, who went out. Obviously, you would have loved to have had him. How's he doing today?
He's doing fine. Again, just can't raise his arm. Very, very. It was a bad AC
landed
joint.
on?
Yes, AC joint sprain. Just wasn't. Couldn't really bring it up. And then but he's better today, and that was. Again, it was just one of those days.
Yeah, man, you talk about when it rains, it pours. And not that they haven't had injuries. They had a ton of injuries to their – I know you're not making excuses because they had injuries to their running back room, and they lost their best tight end in the middle of the game to a pretty bad ankle it looked like. But, just when you lose so many like that, boy, it just – how difficult does that make it? And you guys are always have a next man up mentality, but that's got to make things tough on the offense.
Well, I think that the one thing that I would say is that we're young to begin with, okay,
yes.
Over there on that side of the football. And you look at just like if you look at our receiver room and, how besides Kingsley, everybody else, they're sophomores. We had a true freshman that played that the last 3 games was playing a lot. At receiver. And, then when you lose Kingsley, then again, and then you have Mason Ford on top of that who didn't play. We actually moved Ethan Schultz over to play the inside slot, and he did a really good job. So it was just, we're just patchworking some things together.
For you guys, I know that something that you had really kind of harped on and done a great job of the last few weeks was running the football. And I know that from talking with the coaches, they felt like Northwest probably has a better defensive line, and I'm not saying that's inaccurate. What I will say is I felt like Fort Hays State's defensive line played the best of any defensive line against you guys all year of the teams that I watched. I thought they did a really good job, and just the offensive line was just unable to open up as much as they had. What did you think about that battle in the trenches there?
Yeah, I think that going into it, we knew that I actually thought in my mind that they were definitely either the best or the second best defensive line behind Northwest Missouri. And usually their MO is to play really well. I always think their defensive line plays really, really well in the first half. And then Central Missouri, when they played them, they had to come back. They scored 28 points in the second half. Well, we began to run the football better the second half.
Yeah, you guys did open. It felt like you guys, Kearns was starting to get it.
Right, started getting a little bit of a rhythm. And that was another thing that our tempo, our pace was just disrupted with not doing we just didn't do a good job on 1st and 10.
Sure.
And we were behind the chains a lot, makes it difficult. And then, you combine that with the fact that, you got another quarterback in there who got reps during the week, but he's not getting as many reps as J-Mo because J-Mo needs those reps.
Sure.
Okay, being a true freshman playing, he's going to have to get the majority of them. So all those things kind of combined, along with them they're really good.
They are
up front.
Defensively for you guys to be able to come out and just kind of shut them down the way that you did. And I thought, like I mentioned, Clem McCullough coming up, Landon Boss. We had a couple of great hurries there from C.J. Adams. It felt like you got good play from all three levels of the defense.
We did. And, I look at guys I look at C.J. Adams, who's a senior playing his last game. He did a great job. I thought he played one of his best games, if not the best game that he's played all year, and those are good things to see. And I know he's eating over there, and I'm not just saying it because he's back there.
Hey, he's up there.
Table.
Hey, there he is. He's in the audience.
I'm proud of him. How he played. And you're right. All three of those levels did a great job.
Yes.
I've been proud of this football team all year and disappointed in how it ended. But this team, the resiliency that they've shown, the toughness. We've went through a lot of adversity this year, man. They have stepped up. And I wish it would have ended better for them, but it didn't. And that's the way it goes sometimes. But I couldn't ask for anything. We just got to try to keep this nucleus intact, and I think, again, we have a chance to be really good. I really do believe that. And but just proud of that group, proud of that defense and how they played. You're right. All three levels did a great job.
CJ was talking with your guy and my guy after the game. Kent Weiser said, hey, I'd like to get on the track to be a college athletic administrator, maybe an AD someday. So it sounds like he's going to be making a phone call there to Kent, get some pointers on how to get started on that.
Well, that's a good guy to call.
It would be a great guy to call.
CJ do a great job of that. CJ whatever he chooses to do, he's going to do a great job.
I thought, and like I said, too little, too late. Probably you're looking at a miracle, but I just thought that offensive drive that you guys had with your offense at the very end of the game. To say, you know what, it doesn't matter if we're just chasing a 1% chance to win. We're going to go down. We're going to punch this thing in the end zone. And, because your guys play with so much pride, and you've mentioned the resilience of this group. I just thought that was maybe the most emblematic drive of your team the whole year.
Yeah, I think that, and I'm going to be honest with you, Blake, I think we struggled so much offensively that at times, it as a play caller, sometimes you try to call the perfect play. And when that happens, the perfect play will slow us down. Well, at that time, we went back to our old school, just like some of our basic stuff we did in camp, some of our 2x2 stuff, and our guys were – and I was just calling them, and our guys were executing them. And I get mad at myself when I think about that. And sometimes the time frame of the game – with it being the end of the game, that has a lot to do with it too.
Right.
All right. Instead of being the first quarter, and I could have maybe tried to do that in the first quarter, and it wouldn't have worked. Okay.
Sure.
But and it's easy to say now, but that was one of the things is we just played and didn't try to do anything fancy. I was just calling plays, wasn't even thinking about it.
Sometimes that's what you need. Let's go ahead and take a time out here. We'll let you get dinner. We'll bring up Coach M.J. Baker. She'll make her Hornet Talk debut. We'll talk some Lady Hornet basketball coming up in just a moment here. It's our football basketball combination show wrapping up Emporia State football season getting started with Emporia State basketball. Back with more Hornet Talk in a moment. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State football.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU.
Be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Brought to you by Shelter Insurance. See Dave Watts for a free personal protection review. Mix 104.9.
The Lady Hornet basketball team played tough in the first half, but couldn't keep up in the third quarter and a loss to Minnesota State Moorhead on Saturday. Now ESU hits the road for their first true road test of the season as they face an old MIAA rival, the Southwest Baptist Bearcats. SBU obliterated Ozark Christian in their season opener last week. And now we welcome you into the basketball portion of our show here as we get set for Lady Hornet basketball. Emporia State getting set to head out for their first true road test of the year. And for the first time, we are pleased to welcome the new first-year head coach for the Lady Hornets, MJ Baker, on the show here, making her Hornet Talk debut. Coach MJ, so great to have you aboard. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks, Blake.
Well, for you guys, how much more comfortable do you and the girls, your staff, feel like now that you've kind of got those first ones out of the way and kind of could take stock of where you guys are here at the very early portion of the season?
Well, I'm definitely glad I didn't get to obliviate anyone like Southwest Baptist got to do. We were definitely tested early. We played two really solid all-around teams, so it was really helpful to know where we're at and where we need to get better. So it definitely was exposed.
You played a significantly more difficult foe than SBU did for sure. What do you feel like was the most instructive thing for you as a first-time Division II head coach?
I think it's just understanding the how important experience is and just understanding the culture. Right now, we're just trying to teach these young women how to win and what that habit and what that foundation looks like. And then obviously from there you can build off of it. But we're still doing things that you would think is, common sense to what winning looks like, and it's not. So, but the cool thing is we did take 2 tough losses this weekend, but I do think everyone kind of took that personal. So to see a team care enough to take it personal is always good to see as a coach, to know that they're all in and invested. For
you guys, I've seen you guys in practice, and it says at the bottom of your practice schedule for November, there's a lot of people that said, oh, you got to rise to the expectation. You said, no, we're going to fall to the level of our training. How much do you feel like your ladies are bought in on that and making sure that they win or loss, 0-2, if you went 2-0, making sure they come back this week and are ready to get back to practice and get back to training?
Well, I mean, we put a lot of emphasis. All 14 players played both games. So I think that says a lot that we're and we only had 4 upperclassmen on the court at the time. So I think it just says a lot about them, because they know that they have to get better in practice, and that's where it starts. But yeah, we definitely fall to the level of our training, and I would like to say what I saw in the games was a big surprise, but it really wasn't. We've been grinding it out and trying to get better every day in practice, and we're seeing that in the games as well. But the good thing is we did get better from Friday to Saturday. So it's just for us stacking days, and we're facing teams like the Wayne State. They literally had I think it was 2 grad transfers, a redshirt junior, 2 seniors, and a sophomore on the court most of the game. And they've been together. Some new coach, but some of those girls are returners. So it's the experience. I know even with football, Coach Higgins, it's been a thing. Kind of like the young guys are learning a lot, and there's a lot of growing pains in that. And nowadays, experience does matter. It really does. And just them learning me, I'm learning them. So the 2 games helped us with that.
It's interesting you say experience matters, because right now so much experience is moving from team to team with the transfer portal. How do you feel like that works out for Emporia State? Because you've kind of been on the other side of this in most of your career. I think this is just your second 4-year job. You've been the coach that's trying to get your players to those other programs. That's part of your job. And now you're on this side of it. How do you feel like all of that kind of works out in the current ecosystem of what college basketball is?
Well, my whole staff is JUCO. Like, we've all came from JUCO. Coach Josh, he's come from Division II programs as well, but me and Taylor both came from JUCO background. And we're actually talking about this because it's very interesting, because, the transfer portal, you have people coming in, but in junior college, you have a new roster every year,
Yes.
But you're only facing people who might be a year ahead. So, it's not like it's that much difference. Like, new roster, but the more experienced teams were sophomores. They're 2-year kids, right?
Right.
So, for us this year, it's just very interesting because, we're a whole new team. We're young, but, even if you bring in grad transfers and seniors, you still have 4 or 5 years. So, if I bring in a transfer sophomore, or a new freshman, they already got 3 or 4 years ahead of us. Even if their roster is completely new, they still have that game and that, that wear and tear, that where they get better, that battle tested behind it.
For you, how nice was it to see the ladies out on the road, kind of interacting with each other? It's always different. I mean, you've played some teams. I think you scrimmaged on the road.
Yeah.
You had a team come in and scrimmage from Northwestern Oklahoma State. But to see your ladies out on the road for a weekend, that's going to be a lot more indicative of what MIAA life on the road is going to be like. How did they kind of handle all that situation?
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I do think is an X factor for us that you can't see on the sheet right now, is that they do love and care for each other, and they get along really well. And I do think it's enjoyable. I don't have any punks or jerks or people that I have to worry about, coaching their attitudes or coaching what they're doing off the court. Like, we actually get to coach basketball. And I've had teams in the past that haven't been able to do that. So it's real enjoyable to coach them. It just would be nice to see results a little bit quicker.
For sure, I know one player that you're excited to see back at full strength is Kataya Casey.
Yeah.
It sounds like she was, quote-unquote, sicker than a dog on Friday for sure. And credit to her toughness. She tried to gut out and give you 2 minutes. That was about, I would say that's 100% of her 100% that day. But how is she feeling?
She's much better. She actually just hit 4 threes in practice 2 days ago. So that was a blessing. I was like, oh my gosh, the ball went in the hole.
Sure.
But not having Kataya, she had food poisoning or some stomach bug, and she was puking all day. And
Ugh.
God bless her little heart. She tried to go in for 2 minutes, and she couldn't do it. So, And then honestly, she tried to play. She felt better Saturday, but it still wasn't the same. She was still recovering from all that. So, I mean, she's a big energizer for us on defense. It really makes us go in a lot of ways. So not having her was definitely not ideal.
I know that you're planning on her hitting a lot more shots, but Caitlin Sanders to come out, she kind of, was the straw that stirred the drink for you on offense. 2 double-digit scoring games. You call her Special K, and, she's going to need other people to come along. The team's going to have to come together, but she showed, I thought, a glimpse of what makes her special. What do you feel like makes her special?
I mean, Special K is as competitive as they come, and she's feisty and small. I mean, she's that whole little man syndrome where it's like that little dog that's barking all the big dogs. Like, that's Special K. And she's fearless, man. She's fearless, and she has a craft to her and experience. She's the only player on our team that actually played for me. So the fact that she played for me 3 years ago in JUCO, and then I'm able to coach her in her grad transfer year, honestly, she's probably the only player that is probably where she needs to be in a lot of ways, just because she understands how I work. She understands things. She's more experienced. That does come to play, even if she played for another coach before me, before I got her again. But she's definitely ahead when it comes to that. And her and Gracie and Gandhi are seniors trying to lead this team the best they can. They lead totally different. Gracie does it with a smile and actions. Gandhi does it with a steadiness and consistency. And Special K is a little hot tamale. She gets in your face a little bit and yipes. So just like a chihuahua, but we love her.
From what Gracie has said, it's interesting because it sounds like they're much, and it looks, on the court, they're much different personalities. But from at least talking to Gracie, I haven't talked to Caitlin here since, but from what Gracie said, she's really gotten along very, very well. It's kind of almost like a yin and yang type of thing with her and Caitlin. Are you surprised at how well they've kind of bonded together?
No, because even though they're yin and yang, they're very aligned with who they are. They both do it the right way, and they both really work hard, and they really want it. Like, they're competitive. They just show it very differently. Gracie will give you a nice little criticism with a smile, and Special K will put a little in you. So,
sure.
Yeah, Special K is different.
SBU coming up. I don't know how much value that film is going to have. Obviously, you're going to see, some sets and things. But, I mean, for people who don't know, Ozark Christian, I believe that's an NAIA program that might even be
NCCA, actually.
Yeah, NCCAA. So that's like a level lower than the lowest level NAIA. So you can't really factor anything in, although I'm sure Coach Harold doesn't either. But overall, what did you see on your film of them in game one?
I mean, they're tough. They have a lot of sides to them. They're a little different than what we saw this weekend. This weekend we saw a little more methodical, planned out, executing, a little more discipline. But they like to play with speed and kind of get in you. They're trapping you. They're all of a sudden you get the rebound. You have 3 people on you. They get rebounds. They crash really hard. They play a little bit of a zone. They press too. They play a little bit of everything. They played a team who was only 5'8" in height, so I can't really judge the rebounding and all that. But I guess we're not really much different in some ways. So,
sure.
But yeah, they're a really solid team, and they do a great job. She does a good job of their coaching them. So it should be a great game for us on the road. I'm excited just to see, and that's what I'm telling the players. Like, yeah, the results matter, but we're a process-focused team, so we really are trying to get better. And we did get better Friday to Saturday, even we did not like the results. I would love an ugly win anytime now, though.
Sure.
But you do learn so much more from losses. Like, you really do, unfortunately. So we are learning a lot right now.
That's the most important thing, is to get better every day. Emporia State will try to do that tomorrow. But, hey, there's nothing that says you can't do that and win at the same time. Myers Sports Center will be the place where we're at. 5:30 for the tip-off, and our RV Doc pregame show begins at 5 o'clock from Bolivar. We'll have that for you on Mix 104.9, your home for Emporia State basketball all year long. Coach MJ, so excited. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Blake. Thanks, you guys.
Coach MJ, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks for coming out, y'all.
We will be back. We'll talk more basketball in a moment. Tom Billeter is next. We'll talk Hornet men's hoops in a moment. It is our traditional football-basketball combination show, live from 627 Event Space. This is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agent Kelly Medrano for a free personal protection review.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0086. A safe car helps make a safe driver. Black Creek Diesel Automotive, 3105 West 6th here in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries, no appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
Mix 104.9.
The Emporia State men's basketball team ended the game on a 17-3 run to pick up their first win of the season, running away from St. Cloud State 77-61 on Saturday. Now the 1-1 Hornets play their first home game of the year at White Auditorium facing William Jewell on Wednesday. The Cardinals are also 1-1 after going that record at their opening season event last week. Welcome back to Hornet Talk. It's our football basketball combination show. And so for the first time this year, we welcome in the head men's basketball coach for Emporia State in his second season with now 502 career wins. Tom Billeter joining us on the program. Coach Billeter, thank you so much for being here. It's great to be back and talking Emporia State basketball with you.
Well, it's good to be back. And Coach Higgins, congrats on your season. I guarantee you could bring Notre Dame in here next week and they'd beat them. His staff, after they lose a game, comes back and beats every team they play. It's unbelievable how he gets those kids, and they're young, how he gets those kids to bounce back. And you know what? That's a very good, well-coached team. And those guys are young. They're learning and getting better. They'll be very, very good next year. So congrats on your season, and fun to watch you guys. You guys play such a fun style. We really enjoy Saturdays here. And I kind of like the Live at the Hive before too. It's a little more fun. You don't get to experience that. We got a few beers going over here. We'll get some good arguments going here after Hornet Talk. I got the guys together. I love this. This is a good setting. So we're going to have some fun this next few weeks.
I think we are. We're looking forward to next year. We'll wrap up the football season with Coach Higgins in a little bit, but let's focus on your team here for a bit. Wayne State College, boy, obviously I wasn't there because I was across town with.
You're lucky you weren't at the Wayne State game. I wish I hadn't been at the Wayne State game.
You say that, but Coach Michael Deeker said that he thought that it was a pretty incredible game.
First of all, Michael Beaker is one of the nicest people I've ever met, including you. But that guy wouldn't say a bad word about anybody. He's great to have as an announcer. Did a good job. But yeah, he was trying to tell me nice things after that game, and I had already thrown up in my mouth, so I was trying to not make him sick talking to him because it was awful. They weren't. It was terrible.
Well,
somehow we came back and played well the next day, and we did. But that Friday was. I can't explain it. Coach Slaughter sitting back there, ask him. It was his scout, so I'm blaming Casey.
Oh, wow.
So Casey can come up here and defend himself.
Well, maybe next week, but I thought.
No, Casey does it. You guys know how I feel about him. He does an unbelievable job.
Well, I thought that, just looking, it's another 4-point game. I thought, man, this is another.
It's a 2-point game. They called a foul the 10th of a second.
Yes,
left.
they did.
And I mean, for what had been going on, which you could have both ways. I mean, you could have put people in prison for how each other were guarding, and to call that foul with 1/10 of a second left, and we were just standing there. It's kind of nutty, but
Well,
that's how it goes. But it was both ways.
For you guys to come back, it was a little bit of a roller coaster, it looked like, on Saturday for you guys with some big runs. You give up that run, but 17-3 run down the stretch. How did you see Saturday?
Thank you for skipping Friday so eloquently and so quickly. You're very good at your job. Actually, we had a bad Friday night as a staff. Our team had a bad Saturday morning as a team because we practically practiced at 9 in the morning on Saturday for our walkthrough because we weren't very good on Friday. And I will say this about our team. They responded, and I don't know if people out there know, but St. Cloud is one vote away from top 25. They're picked second in the NSIC. Wayne is picked 10. And St. Cloud's a very good basketball team. We played incredibly well on Saturday for how we performed on Saturday. Just an observation, because I like when we just kind of go our own ways here,
Yes,
Blake, and you got
sure.
everything all scripted, and I hate script. I never want to know questions. I hate that. But, the teams that got to play 2 weeks ago, a bunch of the teams that we've played and that were in that tournament, the teams that played 2 weeks ago, even if they lost 2 weeks ago, they played phenomenally well this weekend. Missouri Western, they had lost 76-70 to West Texas A&M. They did come back and win a game, but you should have seen Missouri Western. I know they're at home, but the way they played against Augustana to get that win, and then they just destroyed Wayne State the next day. Northwest Mo dropped two weeks ago. Northwest Mo looked like the old Northwest Mo this weekend.
Wow.
I think having the opportunity to play those games, so I'm thinking, you know what, we got our weekend games out of the way. We're now playing. Our guys have gotten under the lights, kind of like what you're alluding to MJ with. Sometimes they just got to get out there. I thought we played very timid, very scared, very this is a lot of children in here tonight. There's other verbiage I'd love to use of how we played on Friday, but I won't say it. And then on Saturday, I felt like it was just a totally different team. And, I kid Casey and all that. He and Dev, we managed the film correctly, did what we needed to do on Friday night, and it really helped us prepare for Saturday.
Were you a little bit surprised because you do have some veteran guys, and the new guys that you brought in, many of them did have a lot of experience for you coming back. What do you think allowed the guys on Saturday to kind of just ease in and just be the basketball players that you thought that they were going to be?
I think the threat that they were going to run every second of the rest of their life here, if they played like they did on Friday, didn't hurt because they hate running.
Sure.
We're figuring some stuff out. I will say this, you had Chris Harris was up on one of those pictures, and this year you can actually see ESU in 23 due to our strength coach Lane, because a year ago you couldn't. It was so shrunk in with his shoulders and his chest so sunken in. You couldn't even read. He looked like he was 2 or 3. You couldn't tell his number. So some of our guys, that worked hard this summer, did a good job of getting bigger, stronger. We have good culture. We have a lot of kids that care. They got to figure out how to play. And they were embarrassed by Friday. And I think to see us bounce back the way we did Saturday speaks well of my staff, and I think it speaks well of our players. I think our players started challenging each other. We're kind of desperate for leadership, and I'm seeing some leadership emerge in some different places and some different ways. That has to continue to come and continue to get stronger. And then we got a really good two-guard. I hope he keeps playing well. But the kid we got from Santa Rosa, Andrew Pangle, I don't think he's oblivious to everything. He just goes out and plays. I don't even know if he knows he's in Kansas. He's only been he's never been out of California in his life, except his mom is like from Nicaragua or somewhere. He's been down there. But he absolutely was oblivious to everything and just made baskets.
21 points per game so far, the first two.
But we're up 20 against St. Cloud. And within 4 minutes, I mean, you could have gone to the bathroom during a halftime or whatever of an NFL game. By the time you got back, it was tied. It was a 2-point game. We had a 2-point lead. And Pangle he didn't care. He hits a big 3 in the corner. We get a stop. We hit another 3 in the corner. And before you know it, with 2 minutes left, 2:08, it's a 2-point game. We won by 16.
Yeah.
We just exploded on them at the end, and that was a very positive sign. That doesn't happen all the time because they had all the momentum, and our guys were just like, nah, we're not losing this one, and coach's staff ain't happy anyways. We ain't going to go through that week. And so they did a nice job of just making baskets and getting stops.
Coach, you mentioned last year how much you like to have.
I don't remember last year, so Blake, you're going to have to fill in and tell everybody.
Okay.
Last year has been completely removed from my memory.
Well, I remember last year when you told me that you really like it when you have big guys who can step out and knock down long-range shots. How much does it open things up when you got Dallas Bear who can step out and have a 4 3-point game like he did on Saturday?
Yeah, it's true, because what happens with a kid like Dallas after a game starts going on, they lose him. And if they lose him for just a second or two, that's all he needs to shoot, and he can really shoot it. And we've kind of just given him a green light. You know,
Wow.
Dallas, if you're comfortable and you got the ball, shoot it. We've really Coach Whitelow and I got to give Casey a lot of credit on this. We changed our offense, and I'm still learning it. I'm not sure. It's during the game this week, and I'm like, what should we run? I didn't even know what the heck we should be running half the time. And so we really did a nice job of putting ourselves and our players, I say ourselves, in better spots sometimes to maybe hunt and seek their shot a little better. Team is still getting used to it too, but I thought we did a way better job this weekend than we'd even been doing in our close scrimmages and what have you. So Dallas can really spread it. And then, I don't know, when you guys watch us, hopefully you guys can be there Wednesday. We got a really dynamic, unfortunately, one-year kid. I'm hoping that legislation passes. He's never redshirted. Our point guard is extremely quick. He's kind of small, so you lose him. He kind of ducks under people. He's evasive, and he'd be, Coach, a scat back. Remember they used to use that term, scat back?
I do remember
He's a little scat back. And when he gets downhill, all he's thinking about is getting it to somebody open for a three. And so, those two together are very, very strong. And we shoot the ball. Chris Harris had a bad weekend offensively in a weird way, and I thought he had a great weekend. Chris showed a lot of maturity, strength, toughness. He's really growing.
How about a double-double for you on Saturday?
And he didn't play well. Wait till he plays well. But his attitude was fantastic. He kept his maturity level. He did a lot of really good things. So he wasn't just making baskets like last year. Like you said, he had double-double. He had 10 rebounds. And so, there's a lot of growth there. And a lot to work with.
Looking at you guys defensively, how do you feel like that weekend when obviously, holding them to 61 points on Saturday, much better. But what do you think was the reason that you showed so much improvement on Saturday defensively?
On Friday, our defense probably was like the last 4 minutes of the Alamo back in the day when it got overrun. We were awful. And then we changed it. We kind of changed it. Been guarding that way for 20 years, and we can't do it. So we just said, go pressure the heck out of the ball, and everybody stand in the lane and just get in the way. Don't even guard anybody, just get in their way. And we were 100 times better than we were on Friday. So today we're working on this just get in the way defense and, see how it goes with way better ball pressure.
Okay, well, just get in the way. That'll be enough.
I call it get in the way defense.
It sounds good to me. I know that you had mentioned to people there at the late night at White how much you need people here. So I wanted to give this last question to you about this home game. William Jewell, we'll talk more about them in pregame here in a little bit, but the 1-1 Cardinals, this was a tough game for you guys up at their place last year, and you said, this could be a real big, these people out here could be a real big difference maker for the home game. So you'd just like to invite everybody here and listening to be out there at White for the 7 o'clock tip-off on Wednesday.
And like I said, tell your friends, your neighbors, you'll get them in. Just tell everybody. Hey, go to your church and tell them, hey, it's on me. I'm going to pay for everybody's ticket. You don't have to tell them it's free. Just get them in there. We need students. We need people. I thought football had very good crowds this year. Our band, our cheer team helped tremendously. But yes, we need people in there. We are playing a very good William Jewell team. They're well coached. But, if we can it doesn't need to be sold out. We just got to get that thing about half full, and that noise. And I want it so loud we can't coach. We'll play better. If they can't hear us, we'll play better. And so we need to get as many people there as possible. Absolutely. And we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun year. Love having MJ and her energy here. It's fun to have kids. I really like our team a lot. Right now more than I did Friday, but I'm liking them a little better. and they're going to continue to get better. They are. They care. I got a group that cares, and you can win with that.
Well, Coach, I'm looking forward to the year. Let's run through a wall on Wednesday. Let's do it.
It sounds good. Thanks, Blake. Hey, appreciate everybody being here. Really do. It's fun. So thank you.
Tom Billeter, ladies and gentlemen. Emporia State men's basketball getting set for William Jewell once again. A 7 o'clock tip-off on Wednesday. It's a 6:30 RV Doc pregame show. And we'll have it for you on Mix 104.9. We'll bring back Coach Higgins. We'll wrap up our football-basketball combination show right after this. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Newman Regional Health, our local providers are here to care for the people who matter most, our friends, family, and neighbors. From annual checkups to everyday care, they're here to help you stay healthy, feel your best, and achieve your healthy goals. Call 620-343-2376 to schedule your appointment today or visit us online at newmanrh.org. Newman Regional Health, here to support you and the community we call home.
Life is loud. chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Callie Medrano in Emporia.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU fan apparel for game day that you need. Show your Hornet pride and get your fan gear at Sports Connection, 2721 West 15. Stingers up.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Mix 104.9.
Welcome back to Hornet Talk, wrapping up our football-basketball combination show. We are rejoined by head coach Garin Higgins to wrap up Emporia State football season. Coach, you always say that you're a creature of habit. You want to, keep your same schedule. Now you kind of switch things up. Now you're into off-season mode. How do you kind of handle that transition this week?
Yeah, it's right now it's a little bit different. Just having exit interviews this week and kind of getting everything settled in. And like I said, man, I mean, this is, in this day and age, you want to keep your nucleus intact. You want to keep them together. All right. And, I addressed that today and spoke from the heart. And, again, I think you got to make sure in-house everything's taken care of before you go try to find some players. And that's what we're doing right now. And then we'll be out, on the recruiting trail. And I will tell you this, as hard as it is during the course of the season on Saturdays in this league, it's the same type of in the recruiting.
Sure.
Same thing. And, from transfer recruiting to high school recruiting.
It almost feels like you got to re-recruit some of your own guys.
Oh, there's no question.
Every year now.
It is. And, that's something that for myself that's taking a little bit of time to get used to, but that's just part of the world that we live in.
But it's been something that you've dealt with the last couple of years, and I would love if there was like stats on this, but it certainly feels like for the most part, you guys are, if not at the top, near the top in terms of least number of guys that leave the program. Tripp saying that they are at the top of the least guys that
our retention rate is the highest of anybody in the MIAA, and it's really not even close.
And what do you feel like? I think I know the answer to this, but I want you to tell the people what you feel like the reason for that is.
I don't know.
Don't give anybody any secrets away.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know. There's some things we do here, like we're not really into cutting players. I don't know. Like, I think that our guys, we try to find we call them OKGs, very hard. I know that's easy to say, our kind of guys guys are going to fit in here at Emporia State. All right, they're going to play the right way, and they're going to be tough, and they're not all interested in the bells and whistles, and we got nice decals, okay,
sure,
on our helmets, but I don't know. I think I think the stability of our staff, those guys that have been here, for as long as they've been here, so I think we try to be as coaches, and it's not perfect. But I think communication and laying everything out on the table and being transparent when you have a conversation with your players. And, I just think that's important. And I learned that from my father.
Sure. Well, Coach, last thing, and, you kind of said before, hey, we're focused on this game. We're focused on the right now. But now the 2025 season is in the past. And I know, from me and Kent have talked and taken as well, and just looking at everything, and you've kind of mentioned, you've hinted at it, but now, I mean, how can spring football get here fast enough? Because I just know how excited you are about 2026.
Yeah, I am. I'm really excited about it. And like I said, I mean, you get me to Christmas time, and,
sure,
and depending on where we're at, could feel really excited about it, but. Again, there's no guarantees, and we can say this, that, or the other, and that's one of the things I talked to the team about today. As I said, I did talk about, hey, listen, the nucleus comes back. We got a chance to be really good, and I said that's the last time I'm going to talk about it because, again, everything's a process of what you do, and it's not about the outcome. We live in such a world of, quick outcomes, and to me it's about the process of getting there, and that's where your team comes together. When those guys are working on the process together.
Sure.
And I know that's easy to say, but that's really something that we try to concentrate on and not letting wins and losses define this football team. And another thing is as a head coach, man, you got to watch those wins and losses. You'll start letting them define you as a person. And that's one of the things that's probably been the hardest thing for me is to try to let some of that go. Because there's times when we lose, I do not want to leave the house. I do not want anybody to see me. All right. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day. All right. So, but anyway, I'm excited about this group, and it's recruiting. I mean, I'm really juiced up about recruiting, and I love that. I think I got great assistant coaches that do a great job of going out and recruiting, and I could just be the closer guy.
Sure. Hey, every team needs a great closer.
Right. And I don't know if I'm good at it, but I like to say it. Sounds cool.
It does. And that's why you close out the show, Coach.
Okay.
Hey, thanks so much.
Great job, awesome. As always. Blake, you guys. Kent, you guys, great job. Tegan, great job.
We are so pumped to look forward to next year. Garin Higgins, ladies and gentlemen, Emporia State football is in the books for 2025. We are going to get set for Lady Hornet basketball. Our next broadcast is tomorrow, 5 o'clock for the RV Doc pregame show and a 5:30 tip-off. So we'll see you from the Myers Sports Center in Boulevard, Missouri, as the Lady Hornets take on their old MIAA rival, Southwest Baptist. Thank you to Iris Renteria back in our KFFX studio. I'm Blake Cripps saying good night and Stingers up.